Yo, what's the crack, boys? The 2024 MVP race looks to be one of the best in recent years. Definitely has the potential for that. After, all these star players getting better every year, new stars getting better, coming into their prime, being that superstar player. Obviously, we all know, the regular formula of the MVPs. It'll be between Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. Obviously, with an addition of Tatum and Luka, these are just the best players on some of the high-standing conference teams. Also, I'm not going to say best team. Sixers' overall roster is not really going to be good this season. The Mavericks could struggle unless, Luka and Embiid have, MVP seasons which elevate that team, which could help them win. The MVP is normally, the best player on a high-standing team who's having, obviously the best year. Embiid had a great year last year. Jokic had 2 great years in the past 2 years. I think Embiid should have won twice in 2021. 2022, okay, well, either way, Embiid did get injured. Obviously, there is a 65-game formula, which are these star players going to hit? Obviously, Embiid's missed out on an MVP or two, due to injuries. Apparently, they'll be if you hit 64 or something, I don't know, 65 games. Nick Nurse did say that he wants to see Embiid play more games. Don't we all? Jokic will hit that game fine. Tatum will hit, obviously, bearing random injuries. All these guys in contention will, I'm sure they'll hit that stride. Obviously, like I said, I'm sure it was the betting stuff, people's predictions, like I did say, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, and Luka. You can have some additional players in there. If Damian Lillard gets traded to the Heat, I have no doubt in my mind he'll be in there. He's in his prime. He'll had probably his best year of his career last season. And if he's on the Miami Heat team, which will be up there in the Eastern Conference standings, he's going to get that MVP buzz. He'll have these game winners, these clutch plays, averaging the numbers that you need to win MVP. So I think he will be in that conversation. He could even win it if he's traded to the Heat. Shea, who made the All-NBA first team last season. OKC, their roster's gotten better. Chet's going to be back. They add some good rookies. Their whole team is just going to be better. And Shea, another year of Shea, he could win MVP if he carries OKC to that playoff spot. Maybe even players like Anthony Davis, if he finally takes over as the number 1 in the Lakers instead of 1B with LeBron. His two-way game, that could definitely win him MVP. The Lakers have a very good roster, which could easily be the number 1 seed. So even he could win MVP. Just multiple players. I could go on all day. You know what I mean? Like De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has another jump. Not another jump, another, huge year. Kings are a top 3 seed again. Why not? Who knows? What I think will happen though, it will probably be between, Jokic. Jokic, I think, we all know Jokic doesn't care. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't care. I think Jokic will just probably win Finals MVP again, but he will have that momentum of being the best player in the NBA, which could get him to, a 3rd MVP. The Nuggets will have to rely on some of their younger players now after losing some players in free agency, which will force Jokic to be a better player. Obviously, Jamal Murray as well. That's one of the best deals in the league. Top 3 at least. Jokic will be great. He'll have his crazy stat lines. Near 30s, pretty much a triple-double. Crazy playmaking, crazy highlights, crazy stats, record-breaking stats. Jokic is obviously a contender for that. Giannis as well. Giannis continuously to have underrated years every time. Like I said with Jokic, the crazy stats, the dominant play, highlights, all this stuff, high, team wins, win streaks, all this stuff. Same with Embiid. I have these 3 people, obviously there's a repeat history. Giannis wins it 2 times in a row. Jokic wins it 2 times in a row. Now Embiid's probably in the best position apart from Jokic because he is the best player in the NBA. Jokic. So maybe it's okay, this guy's the best player, and he will put up the stats. He'll put up the team record. So okay, let's just give it to the best player. At the same time, it's very likely that the Sixers get role players back for Embiid. Maybe Zach LaVine. I would like that. I think regardless, though, Embiid's going to have to be on a bit of a carry. Tyrese Maxey will have that jump, I believe. Even his trainer said if he doesn't average 25 points per game, he'll be disappointed. So he'll have a co-star there, but I feel like Embiid will have to carry a lot this season, like I said, with Maxey. So maybe that'll be there. He will put up the 30 points per game, the dominant defensive stats with Nick Nurse as well. Could win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. I think the Sixers will be a bit better under Doc Rivers under Nick Nurse compared to Doc Rivers. That could lead to Embiid having a great MVP year and repeating like we've seen before with the last 2. Because, these are the 3 best players in the NBA. Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. They're the dominants. Obviously, Tatum and Luka are up next for that dominant era. And with Tatum, Porzingis is going to be Porzingis. I think his last season was his most healthiest season. You could say, he doesn't miss that many games, but we had, Tatum averaged 30. First Celtics player to average 30. He's going to be having another great year. come back again. And he was, up until about January, February, he was, in the MVP conversation, the top 3 power rankings the whole time. Obviously, he's younger, he's in his prime, going to get better. Obviously, he had a crazy playoff, scored 51 against my Sixers in the Game 7. So we all know, he's going to have a great year. Possible injuries, which can help him carry the team. Obviously, you got an injured team and you're still high in the standings, and you're putting on good stats, bro. That's like the best MVP case ever. Along with Luka, I think this might be the most possible one. Luka's coming to that point in his career, quite LeBron-like, where you can just elevate a team and carry them. Obviously, he has Kyrie. They have a good roster, don't get me wrong, especially if they get Buddy Hield. They have a good roster, but I think Luka definitely has a chance to win MVP. It's been like this every year, ever since like 2020. Post his rookie years, okay, maybe he wins MVP this year. He'll have the crazy stats, even crazier stats than last year. High up in the wins. Like I said, all of them, just what it makes to be an MVP. I'm all likely of all these players, I'm going to give it to Luka or Embiid, just because their teams are slightly weaker and they'll have more of an opportunity to be the main carrier of the team. The other teams that I mentioned, like Tatum, Jokic, Giannis, maybe could put Giannis in here. The teams are a bit stronger. At the same time, that doesn't exactly matter. It's literally just about how good the player is individually, plus teams, how good their team is as well. But Embiid and Luka have quite the weaker rosters, so maybe they'll get more, appreciate. Do you know what I mean? The MVP criteria changes every year. It's kind of ridiculous, but it honestly just depends on what the criteria is this year, what the context is, what the feel is. That's just kind of how it works. If you look back at history, that's just how it is. If I had to predict right now, though, I'll say Luka. I'm expecting him to take this somewhat LeBron carry job. Obviously, the defense isn't there for him individually and the Mavericks, so maybe that might not even happen. Maybe he'll give it to Embiid. Just based on Nick Nurse being there, the defensiveness. Embiid's one of the best offensive players in the league, and defensive. So you add that as well. Maybe a repeat in the MVP, or Jokic, the best player in the world. He's going to put up insane stats, have crazy moments, probably his best season of his career. So then he could win it. Same with Giannis and same with Tatum. Who are you gonna go with? Let me know.